Go.
Hi everyone! We're making jambalaya today. We're using Emeril old recipe in this beautiful little cookbook over here. Clean out the icebox and freezer jambalaya. We got some gorgeous andouille sausage going and vegetable oil up in here. So exciting. And Dad and Mom took some time to mise en place today. Look at that beautiful counter space. Everything's stuck.
Yes, Dad actually did some work. I did all the chopping.
Go, Dad. Mom did chicken. Yay, Mom.
Hold on, does the sausage have to cook, Kels?
Doesn't say, it just says cook. And then whenever you think it's ready, I typically go till it's brown. You add the onions, bell peppers, salt, and some seasoning.
Smell the love.
You just love sausage, so of course it's love for you.
You do. Put the fan on a little bit. So we're back, and we got the sausage just about where we like it there. It's starting to smell like a little bacon in here. So
got some color on it.
That's right. We like to absorb the colors and absorb the smells. And
Brown food tastes good. Thanks, Emeril.
Emeril talks about building layers. So now we're going to start adding our green peppers, our red peppers, and our onions. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup of green and red and 3 cups of onions. I just chopped up 3 medium onions and 1 green pepper and 1 red pepper, so it's going to be a little more chunky than is typical.
Not a bad thing.
I'll give it a quick toss here. Now look at the colors. Now understand the love is starting to build.
Delicious. Also, in case anyone's wondering, we are using a crab pot to do this. We find that everything tends to stick to it a little less than if you use a regular pot. We actually ruined a pot one year trying to do this in another pot. So if you have a crab pot and you're trying to make jambalaya, definitely go ahead and use it.
It's a teaspoon of salt.
Just YOLOing a little bit, clearly. Grab some black pepper.
Black pepper. Some of this excellent Emeril essence. It's a custom blend that he does.
The recipe is also in this little book we have here. We pre-made it a long time ago and store it.
And a smidge of red pepper. I like to go a smidge more, but I'll keep it safe for everyone. Let that build, absorb the flavors.
Oh, you smell it. It smells good. Can you smell it through the camera? I wish you could.
Everyone keeps talking about smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. Always make sure to scrape the sides. Get everything incorporated in there.
Whatever happened to Emeril Lagasse? I don't see him on TV much anymore. I miss him going BAM! What's that, Mom?
Oh, cooking channel. So pretty. Alright, so we got some chicken and ham and bay leaves added in here. And so we're just cooking everything until the chicken is mostly cooked. Definitely at least has some color on it. But obviously it's going to stew and soak in some rice and broth later. Added a little bit more salt and cayenne too, give it a bit more flavor. And we're just making sure to constantly scrape the bottom so that nothing is sticking. The most important part to do this is with the rice, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, this recipe will ruin a pan if you're not careful.
Yep, that's why we use a crab pot. The crab pot doesn't stick as much. We use this for all the soups. We don't actually make any crabs here. Okay, so now we are adding in the rice. The recipe calls for medium grain white rice, but given the current global climate, the rice was pretty much out at the store. So we have Uncle Ben's whole grain brown rice. It has about the same cook time as the white rice does, luckily. So we're gonna add 3 cups in there, and I'm doing that over the pot. That way if any spills over, it just goes directly into the pot. Shake it out to make it as even as possible. Maybe even sit it on the side. Give it a little stamp. 1 cup. Stamp 2 cups. See, we got flying rice going. Three cups of rice. So now we're gonna get it in there and we're gonna stir it and mix it all together and cook it for 2 to 3 minutes to coat everything. Ha yeah. Looks amazing. Again, doing my best to keep the sides mostly clean. Don't want to lose half the rice. We'll let that just cook a minute.
Okay, so it's been cooking for a minute or 2, so now we're going to add water. It says 6 cups, so we're going 2 at a time. Here's 1, 2 cup portion.
Nom 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 nom.
4 cups.
So it should top off everything. Should cover everything nice and evenly.
Do is give it one more stir just to make sure everything I can get below the water line gets in there. Scraping these kernels off the side. They want to get some love too. There we go. Scrape along the bottom, try to make sure we get everything off the bottom there. All right.
Now we're gonna bring it up to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer, and cook it for about 30 to 35 minutes.
So we'll be back in a bit.
All right, so we are back after about 30 minutes. Still has a little bit ways to go. We still got some liquid going in the pot, but in the last 5 minutes is when we add the shrimp. It has been deshelled, deveined, so I'm just gonna give it a quick stir, make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pot. And then we're gonna put the lid back on it until all of the broth is absorbed. And then we'll top it off with some parsley and some green onion right at the very end. We're almost done, and it's looking delicious. Smelling delicious too. All right, so most of the broth is pretty absorbed. So at this point, we are just going to add in some scallions. We're using a cup of scallions or green onions here. We're gonna throw those in. And then the recipe we have calls for a 1/4 cup of parsley. Yeah, that's not happening. We like parsley in this family. So I just chopped up a whole bunch of parsley, and it's just gonna get thrown in here. And the addition of these is just gonna finish up absorbing some of the water that hasn't been absorbed, and we let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this all together. Smells amazing. Now we have a little bit more color in there with the addition of the green veggies. Slide over a bit so you can see it. As you can see, it's still a little creamy, almost like a risotto. But that's what letting it sit is going to do. It's going to take away some of that creaminess, although I personally like it that way. There you go. So we'll show you what the finished product looks like when it's done. For now, we're just going to let it sit. All right. right, so this is the final product over here. It finally absorbed everything. You can see we got a little bit crispy rice there. I don't know if you can see it right up top. Delicious. So we think that it's still a little creamier than normal just because we used a different grain rice than what we normally do. This is what we're looking at. Delicious. I don't know what else to say.